السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أنا علي الغزالي وأهلا وسهلا بكم في اللسان. Today, inshaAllah, we delve into a new chapter. This is the second last chapter of book 1 and it is titled As-Sihha. As-Sihha means health. So in this chapter, inshaAllah, we'll be learning about health, some health phrases and more. Inshallah, we'll try to cover the entire chapter in this video. So let's not waste any time and get right into the first حوار. الحوار الأول. الحوار الأول between Mas'ud and Mahmud. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. لماذا حضرت اليوم إلى المستشفى؟ حضرت لزيارة طبيب الأسنان. بما تشعر؟ أشعر بألم شديد في أسناني. ولماذا حضرت أنت إلى المستشفى؟ حضرت لزيارة طبيب الأنف والأذن والحنجرة. بما تشعر؟ أشعر بألم شديد في أذني. هل لديك موعد مع الطبيب؟ نعم، موعد الساعة 10. موعد الساعة 10 أيضا. الساعة الآن 9:30. الباقي نصف ساعة. Alright, now let's go through this حوار. They started with Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam, and then Mas'ud asks, لماذا حضرت اليوم إلى المستشفى? We covered the verb حضر, يحضر. We said it means to come, and it has multiple synonyms in the Arabic language, such as the verb جاء يجيء or أتى يأتي or قدم يقدم. All these verbs have pretty much the same meaning. So he could have said لماذا حضرت أو لماذا جئت أو لماذا أتيت أو لماذا قدمت, and the meaning wouldn't have changed. لماذا حضرت? Why did you come today اليوم إلى المستشفى, to the hospital? Mahmoud answered, حضرت لزيارة طبيب الأسنان. I came for visiting or to visit طبيب الأسنان. Of course, we learned that زيارة is the masdar of the verb زار يزور, زر, which means to visit. زيارة طبيب الأسنان. الأسنان جمع سن, and sin is a tooth, so أسنان means teeth. طبيب الأسنان, teeth doctor, or as you call it, a dentist. Okay, طبيب الأسنان is a dentist. However, the word sin has another meaning in the Arabic language, and that is age. Okay, we use the word sin to refer to age, and when we want to say that someone is old, we say هو كبير في السن. هو رجل كبير في السن. He is big in age. Okay, which means he's old. كبير في السن. Mahmoud then asked, بما تشعر? How do you feel? He said, أشعر بألم شديد في أسنان. I feel ألم. And what does ألم mean? ألم means pain. ألم means pain. شديد means strong or intense. So he feels strong pain في أسناني, in my teeth. Okay, أشعر بألم شديد في أسناني. The adjective from ألم is مؤلم. Okay, so مؤلم means painful. And if something is extremely painful, then we say أليم. And Allah often in the Quran describes his punishment as أليم. Okay, so أليم means very painful. مؤلم is painful and ألم is pain. ولماذا حضرت أنت إلى المستشفى? And why did you come to the hospital? He said حضرت لزيارة طبيب الأنف والأذن والحنجرة. I came to visit طبيب, the doctor of Al-anf. Al-anf means the nose. Anf is the nose. Al-udhun is the ears, one ear. Wal-hanjarah is the throat. Okay? Al-anfi wal-udhuni wal-hanjarah. Okay, I think we call such a doctor ENT doctor, I think, yeah. So, طبيب الأنف والأذن والحنجرة. Ear, nose and throat. قال بما تشعر. How do you feel? He said أشعر بألم شديد في أذني. I feel strong pain in my ear. في أذني. Okay, and of course, one ear is أذن, two ears would be أذنان or أذنين. And since we learned أنف and أذن and حنجرة, we might as well learn some of the other body parts, such as عين. So عين is the ear, of course. We also have شعر. I think we learned that in the previous chapter. شعر is hair. And we have as well lisan, which is the tongue, mentioned in the ayah. أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا. Okay, Allah said, have we not created for the human being عَيْنَيْن, two eyes, وَلِسَانًا, a tongue, وَشَفَتَيْن. Shafa is one lip, and both are shafatan or shafatain. Okay, lips. We also have the hand. The hand in Arabic is called yad. Okay, hand is called yad, and fingers, one finger is called isba'. A finger is called isba', and the jam'a for it is asabi'. Asabi' means fingers, as Allah says in the Quran, جَعَلُوا أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ. They put their fingers in their ears. And in the Arabic language, the word isba' refers to both fingers and toes. Okay, so we don't make a differentiation between fingers and toes. So if someone asked you, كم إصبعا لديك? How many إصبع do you have? You shouldn't say عشرة, because you actually have 20, you have 20, including your toes. Okay? We also have the chest, which is called in Arabic صدر. صدر is the chest, and below it we have the batn, which is the belly or the stomach. And as for the back, we call it ظهر. Back is called ظهر, and then we go down to the legs. A leg in Arabic is called رجل. Okay, رجل is a leg, and at the bottom we have the qadam, which is the feet or the foot. Qadam is foot, and we learned previously كرة القدم, football. So أشعر بألم شديد في أذني. I feel intense pain in my ear. So Mahmoud asked him, هل لديك موعد مع الطبيب? Do you have a موعد مع الطبيب? Now pay attention. The word موعد is derived from the verb وعد يعيد, which means to promise. وعد يعيد means to promise. So موعد is the masdar. Okay, literally means a promise, and it could also be a word of time, meaning the place, the time in which you promise someone to meet. Okay, and this is what it means here: the time in which you promise to meet someone. Okay, and this is what you call in English an appointment. Okay, so maw'id here means an appointment. Do you have an appointment with the tabib? He said, نعم موعد الساعة العاشرة. I have an appointment. My appointment is at 10 o'clock. الساعة العاشرة. Mahmoud goes, موعد الساعة العاشرة أيضا. My appointment is at 10 o'clock as well. Mas'ud, الساعة الآن التاسعة والنصف. It's 9:30. Al-Baqi, the remaining time. So Al-Baqi means the remaining, comes from the verb baqiya yabqa. Baqiya yabqa means to stay or to remain. So Al-Baqi, the remaining time, is half an hour. Nisfu sa'a. Okay, I hope I clarified this chapter, this hiwar for you. Now we can move right into the second hiwar, inshaAllah, without any further ado. This dialogue is between Al-Mudarris wa Al-Talib. Al-Mudarris is the teacher, Al-Talib is the student, of course. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. لماذا تغيبت عن الدراسة؟ أصبت بزكام شديد. بما شعرت؟ شعرت بصداع في الليل وارتفعت درجة حرارتي. هل قابلت الطبيب؟ نعم، ذهبت إلى المستشفى بالإسعاف وقابلت الطبيب. وبما نصحك الطبيب؟ نصحني بالراحة وتناول الدواء، وهذا هو التقرير الطبي. شكرا لك. وبما تشعر الآن؟ الحمد لله أنا بخير. Okay, so المدرس asks the طالب لماذا تغيبت عن الدراسة. The verb تغيب يتغيب means to be absent. It's the opposite of حضر. We said حضر يحضر is to be present or to come. تغيب is to be absent. تغيب يتغيب. And you could also use the verb غاب يغيب, which is easier and serves the same meaning. غاب يغيب means to be absent. لماذا تغيبت عن الدراسة? Why were you absent from دراسة, from school, from study? الطالب answers أصبت بزكام شديد. Now pay attention to this one. The verb أصاب يصيب. أصاب يصيب is to hit something. Okay? Literally means to hit. If you're aiming for something and you hit it, then you say أصبت. This is the verb أصاب يصيب. However, in the Arabic language, if you change the verb slightly by adding a dhamma to the beginning of it, you turn the verb from active speech to passive speech. What I mean by that is that if asaba means to hit something, then usiba means to be hit by something. Okay? And this is the verb being used here. This is the passive form. Okay? Usibtu comes from usiba, which means to be hit. Usibtu, I was hit. Bizukamin shadid. Bizukamin, I was hit by zukam. Zukam means flu or cold. Shadid means intense. I was hit, I was afflicted by an intense flu. Okay? And then he says, Bima sha'arta, how did you feel? He said, Sha'artu bi suda'in shadid. Suda' يعني ألم في الرأس, pain in the head, headache. ألم في الرأس. الصداع هو ألم في الرأس. I felt intense headache. في الليل, in the night. وارتفعت درجة حرارتي. ما معنى ارتفع? The verb ارتفع يرتفع. ارتفع means to rise or to go up. Okay? ارتفع يرتفع. And the opposite of it is انخفض ينخفض. انخفض ينخفض means to go down. Okay? Or to descend. And these two verbs are what we call in Arabic lazim verbs. Lazim means they don't require, they don't use an object, they don't use a maf'ul. Okay? So something rises, something ascends, and something descends. something goes up, something goes down. Okay? These are the meanings of ارتفع and انخفض. However, if I want to say I raise something, I put something up, or I put something down, I lower something. So you notice here, the meaning is slightly different. Here, there is someone raising something. So there is an object, what we call in Arabic maf'ul. Okay? If I want to express that meaning of raising something or lowering something down, then we use slightly different verbs. We use the verb rafa'a yarfa'u. So rafa'a yarfa'u, to not to rise, to raise something, to put something up. And the opposite would be khafada yakhfidu, which means to lower something down. Okay? And these types of verbs, the verbs that require an object, require maf'ul bihi, is what we call in Arabic a verb that's muta'addi. Okay? So verbs are two types. There is a verb that's lazim, requires no maf'ul bihi. Someone did something. Such as, jalasa. Jalasa Zayd. Zayd sat down. There is no an object here. Nama Ahmad. Ahmad slept. And so on. But the verbs that require an object, we call them muta'addi. Such as a verb like daraba. Daraba means to hit. Okay? Or darasa. So if you say daraba Zayd, Zayd hit, that's not a complete sentence. You need an object. You need someone who got hit. Okay? ضرب زيد عمرا, or أكل محمد الطعام, and so on. Okay? I hope I clarified this for you. So going back to the verbs here, ارتفع يرتفع and انخفض ينخفض are لازم, meaning they don't require مفعول به, an object, and they mean to ascend or descend, go up and go down. As for the verbs رفع يرفع and the opposite خفض يخفض, they are متعدي, they require an object, and they mean to raise something up and to put something down. Okay? وارتفعت درجة حرارتي. The word درجة on its own means level or degree, and حرارة means heat, and the ya is my. درجة حرارتي, my degree of heat, which is what we call a temperature in Arabic. Okay? So what you call temperature, we call درجة حرارة. My temperature went up. So the teacher goes, هل قابلت الطبيب? The verb قابل يقابل, قابل يقابل means to meet. Have you met the doctor? هل قابلت الطبيب? He said, نعم, ذهبت إلى المستشفى بالإسعاف. I went to the hospital by الإسعاف, ambulance. Okay? الإسعاف, or maybe more specifically, سيارة الإسعاف is ambulance. Okay? وقابلت الطبيب, and I met the doctor. And then he asked, وبما نصحك? بما, we said this ma is short for ماذا. So بماذا, with what? With what did he advise you? بما نصحك. So the verb نصح ينصح means to advise, and an advice, the advice itself, the noun is نصيحة. Okay? نصيحة is one piece of advice, but the verb is نصح ينصح. وبما نصحك الطبيب, what did he advise you with? He said نصحني بالراحة. He advised me with راحة, and راحة means rest, take rest. وتناول الدواء. The verb تناول يتناول means to take something, whether it's food or not, to pick something up. تناول الدواء, to take the دواء, which is medicine. So دواء is medicine. And then he said وهذا هو التقرير الطبي. The word تقرير means report. طبي comes from طب. طب, we said, means medicine. So طبي is medical. So this is the medical report. Okay? And then المدرس says at the end شكرا لك, thanks to you. وبما تشعر الآن, how do you feel now? he said, Alhamdulillah, ana bi khair. Alhamdulillah, ana bi khair. Okay, this was a rich dialogue. I hope you benefited from it. And inshaAllah, we will move right into the third chapter. We might as well finish the chapter. So open your books on the third حوار, الحوار الثالث. This one is between الزوجة والزوج. الزوجة is the wife and الزوج is husband. Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. خيرا، هل قابلت الطبيب؟ نعم، وفحص الصدر والقلب والكلية وقاس الضغط. وما النتيجة؟ القلب سليم والحمد لله. هناك ارتفاع قليل في الضغط والسكري. ما سبب ذلك؟ زيادة الوزن. وماذا طلب منك الطبيب؟ طلب مني ترك السكريات. وهل طلب منك شيئا آخر؟ نعم، ممارسة الرياضة وتناول الفاكهة والخضروات. شفاك الله. آمين، شكرا لك. Okay, so the wife, الزوجة, goes خيرا. خيرا literally means goodness. But why is she saying that? Just to give some context to this dialogue, the husband went to the doctor, okay, did a checkup, and then he came back to his wife, who's anxious to know what he did and the result of the checkup. So she starts with خيرا, meaning I hope it's خير, I hope it's good. Okay. هل قابلت الطبيب? Did you meet the doctor? He said نعم، وفحص الصدر والقلب والكلية وقاس الضغط. The verb فحص يفحص. فحص يفحص means to check something up. الصدر, as we mentioned before, is the chest. القلب is the heart. He checked the chest and the heart. والكلية is the kidney. So كلية is a kidney. وقاس الضغط. The verb قاس يقيس. قاس يقيس, and the masdar is قياس, is to measure something. To measure. قاس يقيس, to measure. الضغط means pressure. الضغط means pressure, and the verb is ضغط يضغط, means to press on something. Okay? And by ضغط here they mean blood pressure, of course. And blood is called in Arabic dam. 2 letters, dal, mim, dam. So he measured blood pressure, and then she asked, وَمَا النَّتِيجَةِ? What is the natija? Natija means result. Okay, what is the result? He said, القلب سليم. The heart is salim. Salim means well, sound, fine. And the opposite of it is مريض. طيب, مريض means ill, as we learned before. القلب سليم, the heart is fine. Okay, as Allah said in the Quran, يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. This sound heart, القلب السليم. Okay, of course the ayah is talking about a heart that's sound spiritually, but here in this context he's talking about a biologically sound heart. القلب السليم. Okay, القلب سليم والحمد لله. هناك ارتفاع قليل. Remember we said the verb ارتفع يرتفع means to rise. So ارتفاع is the noun of it, is the masdar. So there is a slight rise. ارتفاع قليل. There is a slight rise في الضغط والسكري, in pressure and sugar level. والسكري is the sugar level. Okay? هناك ارتفاع قليل في الضغط والسكري. She asked, ما سبب ذلك? The word سبب means cause or reason. What is the reason of that? ما سبب ذلك? He said, زيادة الوزن. زيادة is the masdar, the noun of the verb زاد يزيد. زاد يزيد means to increase. So زيادة is an increase. زيادة الوزن, increase in weight, overweight. الزوجة then asked, وماذا طلب منك الطبيب? What did he request from you? He said, طلب مني ترك السكريات. We learned the verb ترك يترك, to leave something. He requested from me to leave sweets. السكريات, anything that contains a lot of سكر, sugar. And then she asked, وهل طلب منك شيئا آخر? Did he request anything else from you? شيئا آخر, anything else? He said, نعم, ممارسة الرياضة. The verb مارس يمارس. مارس يمارس. مارس means to practice. Okay? الرياضة is, as we learned, sports. So he requested that he practices sports. وتناول, to have or to take. الفاكهة. الفاكهة is fruits. And the جمع of it is فواكه. So فاكهة is fruit and فواكه is fruits. والخضراوات. الخضراوات means vegetables. Okay? الخضراوات. And it comes from the word خضراء. خضراء is the feminine of أخضر. أخضر is green, خضراء is also green. الخضراوات are the vegetables because most of them are green. And then she makes dua for him. She says, شفاك الله. May Allah cure you. شفاك الله. He said, آمين. شكرا لك. I think that concludes the chapter. Sorry for the long lesson. The lesson today was longer than usual, but I hope you found it beneficial. Of course, if you have any questions or suggestions, you're more than welcome to leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And inshallah, I will see you in the next video, which will be, inshallah, the last video, the last lesson, commenting on book 1 of this series. And inshallah, we will start the second book after that with the will of Allah. So inshallah, until then, Assalamu alaikum.